Hey everyone, it's Yvonne Emile Elizondo from Silver Moon Astrology and Transpersonal Counseling, also known as Silver Moon Counseling. And I'm here today because we have a solar eclipse in Libra here in a few hours, and AKA a supercharged new moon in Libra. And so I wanted to give you an idea of what this energy, how it could potentially manifest, maybe some of the qualities of this energy, and give you some ideas of how you can use it, maybe spiritually or for self-development, or just to kind of figure out life for the next 6 months, because eclipses, the theme of a supercharged new moon, okay, is definitely about a 6-month period. Okay, so 6 months. So this is the energy that we're going to be working with for the next 6 months. And yeah, so let's get started. But before I do that, let me just say this. I always wanted to do this. Okay. I always see, YouTubers and vloggers, and they're always drinking their coffees and their teas and all of that because it's starting to feel like fall. And I'm really excited because it's actually like 64 degrees outside, which isn't very cold. Considering we lived in Massachusetts and Colorado, this is nothing, but since we are in Central Texas, yeah, 64 is actually pretty good. And I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to record a video drinking my pumpkin spice latte with soy and whipped cream. So there you go. Check that off the list. I did that. Okay. All right. In all seriousness, let's get looking at the chart. Okay. Let's transfer over to the chart, because this is a really super powerful karmic solar eclipse. So the exact eclipse is scheduled for, it's supposed to occur at 12:55 p.m. Central Standard Time, October 14th, 2023. Again, this is Saturday, October 14th. So this is a Libra supercharged new moon. The elliptical aligns perfectly. So, well, it's not a total eclipse. I shouldn't say perfectly. It's not a total eclipse. It's an annular eclipse. So we will be able to see the ring of fire. But this is happening in Libra, and there are a couple of other little interesting bits that are going to influence the qualities of the solar eclipse. We also have Mercury involved, and we have the South Node involved. And if you notice, there's this red line in my chart that it's a square, and so Pluto, the Lord of the underworld, okay, in Capricorn, is squaring this solar eclipse. So pretty powerful. The only little tidbit here that I think I might add is that we do have mutual reception with Venus. Okay, Venus is the ruler of Libra. Okay, and Venus right now is in Virgo, and the ruler of Virgo is Mercury. So even though Venus is in, it's debilitated, it's not doing very well in Virgo, and Mercury, it does okay, considering the fact that it's sucked into this solar eclipse. When a planet is within 6 degrees of the sun, it tends to get burned up. So we refer to it as burning up. So we don't really see the full qualities of this, and it's all in its glory, right? And so this mutual reception, right, I feel could potentially add a little bit of oomph to Mercury and a little bit of oomph to Venus. So, all right. So let's get started. Okay, let's talk about what a solar eclipse is. Yes, obviously we know what a solar eclipse is, right? Because the moon comes, travels right in front of the sun during a solar eclipse. But this is a really potent time, okay? Because what's happening is that we have the light of the sun, and it's being darkened by the moon, right? So we know that this represents transition, change, right? So the ancients used to look at the solar eclipses and to some extent believe that the sun was dying in the moment because it was going dark, right? So there was a death, a transformation that was happening. And if you work with tarot, you probably know that the death card doesn't necessarily represent death. It represents a transformation, right? So an ending and a new beginning. And that's what the solar eclipse is about. That's what eclipses are about. There's change coming. There's an ending to a cycle, but with every ending, there's always a beginning. So this eclipse happens in Libra, right? Libra is an air sign. It is ruled by Venus, as I just previously mentioned. And so the qualities of the solar eclipse are pretty much much going to be about those Librian themes, all right, well, of balance, finding balance in life, justice, social fairness. We also have aesthetics and beauty and partnership more than anything, contractual partnership or relationship partnership. Okay, so these are really the themes in general of what, you know, Libra entails. So this for me is a very karmic type of eclipse. And by karmic, I mean, this is an opportunity for us to really step into change with a lot of intention. Okay. And you know what I mean by that is that, you know, life always starts pointing us in the right direction. And sometimes we take the hints and most of the time we don't. And so we don't follow the theme that we're supposed to be following. We ignore the signs that we're supposed to be making changes. We ignore the signs that we're supposed to be, you know, releasing and maybe bringing new stuff into our life. And then life says, well, really? Well, you haven't been paying attention, Yvonne. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw you under the bus. The bus is going to run over you like a couple of times. And then you're going to have absolutely no choice but to make the changes that we have been telling you to make. So what I mean by karmic, okay, this is an opportunity to make some really significant changes that are going to impact your future, that are going to impact the decisions that you make moving forward, whether it's spiritually, whether it's through self-development, whether it's career, whether it's family, whether it's partnership. Okay, it's very much about taking account of the past, okay, and all of the things that you've mastered before, those old habits, old relationships, maybe people in your life, okay, situations, jobs. Again, I've said that, right? And all of that, taking account of the stuff from the past that you've already mastered that isn't really suiting you or benefiting your growth anymore. At some point, we have to release the old baggage, literally. And that's what the South Node conjunct this eclipse actually means. Okay, well, that's what happens with the eclipse is when it's a technical thing anyhow, but the nodes are involved, right? So this is the South Node is asking us to release, okay, to get rid of all of those tendencies, those habits, those things, those people that are no longer, you know, benefiting us. They're no longer supporting our growth, because in order to grow and move forward, we need to make room and space for all of that old baggage. So that's really what this eclipse is asking us to do, okay? The other aspect of this is that Mercury is involved in this eclipse. And so Mercury is about the mind, okay? And it is about thinking and communicating, right? And so during this time, you may feel, it is in Libra, it's an air sign, okay? You may feel that there's a little bit more anxiety going on, maybe a little bit more restlessness, okay? Wanting to communicate, okay? Because it is an air sign, right? Okay? Wanting to communicate, or maybe even just kind of thinking about things maybe hasn't been as settled as you anticipated to be. Now, we do start feeling the energy of eclipses probably about 2 weeks or so before the eclipse, and we should have started feeling the energy of this eclipse about the 26th of September. So if you go back and just kind of browse through the last 2 weeks and just kind of get a feel for how you were feeling, maybe you were feeling the energy a little bit more, maybe a little bit more heavy, maybe more anxiety, okay, maybe just your mind on overdrive, maybe feeling like you needed to control your life, but you were having difficulty, you know, finding a way to control it. All of those aspects, and including relationships, including, you know, the aspects of beauty and the things you appreciate, and comfort, okay, social justice, all right? So all of those Libran themes are very much in tune with what the belief that we have, because it's Mercury, right? It's what we're thinking, it's what we're believing. That's what we're being asked to examine and to determine what is working for us and what isn't working for us anymore. Now, one of the themes that plagues Libran people, now my daughter's a Libra and she has the Sun and Mercury, you know, a conjunct in that sign of Libra. So she's going to be feeling this eclipse pretty intensely, okay? So if you're a Libra, especially a Libra sun, that's probably where you're going to feel more of this energy, okay? Anyhow, one of the things that she absolutely hates is that when people, you know, say, oh my gosh, Libra people are so indecisive and they're such people pleasers, and, you know, and she's like, And she's not like that, okay? Or she thinks she's not like that, right? But that's one of the themes, okay, that does come up with Libra energy, is sometimes being indecisive. She's not indecisive. She's got some other placements in her chart that make her very, very not indecisive, okay? But indecision is one of them, and maybe people pleasing to some extent. So she doesn't people please, but she finds that she kind of steps into that, wanting to take care of people. That's more Cancer energy. Anyhow, back to Libra. So really examine that aspect in your life where, are you people pleasing? Are you truly showing up authentically? Okay. What is your belief system? What are you thinking about, how you're connecting in relationship to other people? Libra is about connection with people. It has a difficult time being on its own. Okay. So examining how you're showing up for relationships is probably, one of the best qualities of this eclipse. But it's not just relationship with other people, it's relationship within yourself. How are you showing up for yourself? This is huge. Yeah, in my opinion, it's huge. So, all right. So now let's talk about Pluto, the Lord of the underworld, because Pluto is squaring this eclipse. So this is a pretty powerful eclipse because of the South Node. The South Node represents the past, right? It's that karmic past. It's that, again, all of that stuff that you already learned and that you really don't need anymore. You've mastered it. You need to move on. But add Pluto to the mix. Okay. And Pluto is the planet that intensifies whatever it touches. It goes into like this plutonic energy. So the South Node is already a karmic aspect, but now add Pluto to it. So we're having a supercharged karmic, okay, energy surrounding this solar eclipse. Now, Pluto in Capricorn is about control. It's about power. It's about, making sure that things remain status quo. Okay. It does not want change. Pluto, although it's the transformer, it establishes change, not in a fun, easy way. This is the bus coming after you. Okay. This is the bus that's going to run over you. This is Pluto. It transforms, but it transforms through not flowers and fluff, but more of a, deep, dark, going into the underworld kind of vibe. Now, I don't want to scare anybody about, what Pluto is potentially presenting in this chart. And that's why I said at the beginning, if you follow the signs that you need to make some changes and that you're in a state of transformation, then things will work out okay. Right? Or hopefully okay. I can't guarantee that, but it's up to you to manage your own life. Okay. But if we don't pay attention to the signs, that's when we can start having trouble. Okay. And that's when Pluto comes in and says, you're holding on too tight. You're trying to control the situation. Let's give you an opportunity to learn how to release control. So you may find during this time, again, 6 months is the eclipse cycle, okay, that we're looking at, you find that there is a part of your life where you do need to make some changes, and you need to ask yourself, why am I holding on for dear life? Why am I not willing to transform in this part of my life? What's keeping me from transformation? What's keeping me held down? What's keeping me from moving forward? Okay. Now, here's the deal. Okay. Some signs are going to feel this more than others. Libra, you're going to feel this, okay, a little bit more. And then it also depends on your individual chart and where in your chart Libra, falls in place. Mine is in the house of work and daily routine and health. I'm hoping that I cannot get run over by the bus again with health. I cannot get run over by the bus. I'm letting you know right now. I cannot get run over by the bus with health. Okay. But I do need to make some changes in my daily routine for sure. That's kind of one of the reasons I ended up with health issues. Right. So I know that I'm focusing on making those changes. So if you want to know where Libra falls in your chart, okay, come and see me. We'll do a consult and we'll figure this out. But in the meantime, just remember that change isn't always easy. Okay. And this eclipse makes me really feel like it's a karmic transformation, which means that on a physical level, on a mundane level, you may be looking at life and just saying, okay, yeah, I need to make some changes, but the changes are really in here. The changes are within you. This is karmic stuff. This is stuff from the past. This is stuff from a previous life past, if you're going to tap into previous lives. This is karmic energy that is asking you to transform it so that you can write your future, so that you can have a different perspective of life, so that you can approach relationships differently, but especially the relationship with yourself. Yeah. Whew. So there we go. There's a lot a lot more, technical points that I would love to share about this, eclipse. I think the last bit I'll share is that mutual reception between Mercury and Venus. So keep in mind that anywhere that you have Venus in your chart, I'm ruled by Venus. Okay, I'm Taurus rising. So wherever Venus is in your chart, you're also potentially going to feel some of the impact of, the solar eclipse in that area. For me, it's my first house. Great. I refuse to have any more health issues. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. But wherever Libra falls in your chart, you're probably going to feel a secondary type of energy within that part of your chart. So for example, my daughter has Libra and Scorpio. And I say, because wow, she's mysteriously passionate and sometimes deadly, but not in a bad way. Anyhow, this is me picking on her because I get to pick on her. I gave birth to her. I get to pick on her. Okay. Anyhow, so the part of the chart that she has Libra in is the house of dating, the house of self-expression. And so she'll probably feel this energy not only in her house of home, but also in her house of dating. See, so this is how the astrology works. Just trying to give you a little bit of information that we can pull a lot of information from doing an astrology consult. So, all right, everyone, I think that's it. I probably maybe forgot a thing or two, but I think I probably tapped into I really like to share, but I don't want to overshare because I don't want to, info dump on you. But I gave you the fundamental information. Okay. I'm always thinking that I could do these videos better. But I feel for the most part, I don't want to info dump and I don't want to overload. So I'm comfortable with what I just said for now. All right, everyone. Again, please do not look at the solar eclipse directly. We love your eyeballs. Your eyeballs love to see and be, helpful to you. And so if you look at it directly, you could potentially burn, your eyes. You may not even feel it for a while. So please don't do that. There's some really cool videos online about how you can make your own sunglasses, or at least, a way to look at the eclipse. We've done it before. We're going to do it again. And all right. So now I'll finish this off with my cheers. I always wanted to do that. All right, everyone. Take care. Blessed be.